Well, surprise! I have somebody with me today. It's one of my students. I'm so excited to have you here today. So, when I was telling her about interviewing my sister, she said that I could interview her. And so I said that would be a great idea. And so I checked with her parents. They were just thrilled that she was willing to come out and talk about her struggles and hope that it could help somebody else. So I am just so thrilled to have you today. Thanks
Thank you.
This is one of my students that I've had for 2.5 years, and you are a freshman in high school. And unlike most of my students who I work with on reading and spelling, you had already gotten some help with those things before you got to me.
Yeah.
But I actually help you with math.
Mostly, yes.
Which is really amazing because never say never. Math has never been my thing, but I am able to help her.
Yes, that is true.
And I'm actually enjoying it. I also want to say that you are a very hard worker.
Thank you.
And that you have a great attitude. I always say that I can do anything with a student who is a hard worker and has a good attitude. That just means so much and can carry you so far. So I really enjoy working with you on math, and we also sometimes we study for things and work on study skills. Also, like if she has a research report, then we'll work on that, like on taking notes and getting your thoughts organized and just getting it out there. So I would love to hear your story of your struggle through the years and where you're at now.
Okay. So basically I got diagnosed with all these learning problems in 2nd grade. I have dyslexia, audio processing disorder, and low working memory. It sounds like a lot, but over the years I've basically been made stronger in that. So in 2nd grade, when my parents realized that I was learning different, they realized I needed to go to a different school so I would be more educated in what I was doing. So basically they pulled me out and we went.
You got some testing done, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And that's when I found out what I had. So my parents were just like, okay. So I went to this different school, and I wasn't in the regular 3rd and 4th grade because I went there for 2 years. I was in a special learning class where kids who learn different like me are in there. I would go to the regular 3rd and 4th grade class for like subjects I knew, but for like the main ones, which would be like spelling, reading, math, writing, I would have to go to that class. And my 4th grade year, I was in a regular 4th grade the rest of the year because they realized I wasn't struggling as much anymore. And then my parents realized it wasn't our will to be there, so they pulled me out. Then we went to a different school. I went there my 5th and 6th grade year. I had my own private math teacher for 2 years. And we would basically be, 10 lessons behind, and the other class would be like 10 lessons up. But I needed more time to basically go slow, make sure I have the information down, and I made an A in there the rest of the year.
So you were doing what the rest of the students of your class were doing.
Yeah.
But just at a slower rate, at a rate that you could master the material.
Yes, pretty much, yes. And trust me, it helped a lot. But then, problems had started happening my 6th grade year with just people and the way they were acting. So my mom realized I wasn't happy there anymore, so she pulled me out. And I went back to the same school I am at now.
Which was the one that you first started at.
Yes, when I was younger. And then...
and that's where I come into the picture.
Yeah, so I've had her for 2.5 years. She's helped me, tremendously in everything. And I went from, a D to C to, an AB average now over the past 3 years. So it's really great. I'm making, a low A in there right now.
And Algebra 1.
Yeah, and they said that fantastic. I was probably going to have to repeat pre-algebra,
but you didn't.
I made a C in there and I passed. So and so far I'm doing well with that. So basically that's my story of the struggles throughout the years.
Yeah, proud of you. Come a long way.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so you do have some accommodations, right?
Yes.
Can you talk about some of the accommodations that you are currently getting that are the most helpful to you?
Yes. The do not count out for spelling.
So just grade on content
Yes.
of what's there, not on spelling. Except
Yeah.
for, of course, in a spelling class.
Pretty much, but like, you know, I've had points be count off in history class, and like, that just doesn't count because, you know, I struggle. I need people to realize that, you know, even though I know how to spell, I still misspell words. Another accommodation would be probably like having more time for tests. I feel like 55 minutes is just not enough time. I feel rushed, I freeze up.
So a lot of people actually have test anxiety and they just kind of freeze up when they get a test. It's like they can't think. So, you know, whether it's that you need more time because of that or because you're having a hard time actually reading the question or processing what it says, that's a really important accommodation.
It is, trust me. It comes in handy a lot when I can have extra time.
Yeah. So do you go after school and get some more time, or how does that usually work?
Normally, or I'll go during like a class that's not really like important what we're doing, and I'll just go and finish the test. So it's not really. I mean, normally I can finish it, but most of the time I need like lots of extra time to finish it.
Okay.
And then my last accommodation would probably be me to read aloud to myself, because I feel like if I hear myself read, I understand it more. And instead of like reciting what I read, I picture it. So there's like a movie going on in my head, and it helps me understand it. And trust me, you should try that, because I feel like you'll understand, especially a book that you're reading. Like, we're reading a book now, and it's absolutely hard, but once you picture like all these images in your head, you're like, oh, okay, that's how the story goes. So that helps.
Yeah, I find that it helps me if I read the Bible out loud. I understand it better.
That's true.
I feel like I'm able to focus on it more.
Yeah, and understand what the passage is saying.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky to do that during a test. But if you had to go back after school, of course, there wouldn't be
a lot of
other kids in the room to have to worry about disturbing. So, yeah. Okay, great. If you could tell the teachers some things about you and your struggles, what would you like them to know?
Well, that basically I need the question repeated multiple times. You know, even though if one student asks the question, I might need it like 2 more times, or I might need to ask it 2 more times. They might need to go back and do it again. But I feel like sometimes they get frustrated with it. But I'm like, okay, I just gotta shake it off. Just continue on. So I feel like the teachers just need to know that, you know, questions are gonna come repeatedly, but that I'll eventually get it.
You do ask good questions. And sometimes you feel like you need to ask the same one over and over again. So I think what you're saying is that you don't want the teachers to get frustrated.
Yes.
And to assume that they, that just because they said it once or twice or even 3 times doesn't mean that you got it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because you weren't listening necessarily. Now, who knows? All of us, don't listen from time to time. I admit it. But that oftentimes for you just need it to be repeated and over again, and to be with understanding.
Yes.
You want the teachers to be understanding and patient.
Yes.
Even though they've already answered it.
Pretty much.
So yeah, that would be really good for the teachers to know, to understand that. What about other students? If you could tell them something, help them to understand better, what would you like them to know?
Well, I basically wish that the students knew that even though if I have to have homework like deducted or not as much problems, that they're like, she doesn't really need that. She just doesn't want a lot of homework. I'm like, well, that's not true. I don't need a lot of homework because it just makes me overwhelmed.
So do you feel like you get that vibe from the students sometimes?
Like, even though they might not say it, I can just tell by their looks. And you can just tell that there's like something in their room that's just making them aggravated from that. I guess another one would also be, and I have to like skip a class because I have to come to tutoring. It's like, oh, she doesn't have to do this work. She doesn't have to, go exercise because we're in PE. I'm like, well, I can't help that, but this is how I'm getting better grades and learning. But they don't have that problem, so they can't say anything about that. If they had it, would they like other people to say the same thing about them, which they wouldn't.
Right. So, I mean, given the option, I'm sure that you would not want to have to deal with this and come to tutoring and everything.
Yeah, and just be
You'd
normal,
like to
basically.
Yeah, exactly. So even though, but you're getting what you need, and bravely coming on to tutoring.
Yes.
It would be nice if they were more understanding of that. So that's good. Okay, so what are your hopes and dreams for the future? Do you hope to go to college? What would you like to be when you grow up?
Well, I basically have always dreamed about being a vet. You know, that was my big thing, loving animals, and I still do. But
And
I
you
feel
have a
like,
cute puppy.
yes, she's at home right now. She's probably wondering where I'm at. But yes, but I do really love animals. But I feel like my life isn't going down that road. I feel like it's going more towards military options or being a firefighter. And I know that's like, you're like, wow, a girl like her who struggled is going to do that. Well, maybe. Basically, if I do go to the military and I come back, I would go to college and major in something simple and have a degree in it. But if I had to have the option to go to college, I would.
So you feel like if you wanted to do a job that required a college degree, do you feel like you could do it?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And with your work ethic and good attitude,
I think
you can
I could
do it. You can do it. All it takes is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful to have had this time with you. We've had a lot of fun, and hope that you stay tuned for the bloopers because there will be some, trust me. But I want to thank you for coming on today to my little Ask Me About Dyslexia channel here, where we talk about all things dyslexia from all different angles, and now you've heard it from a student's point of view. So if this has been helpful to you, then if you could like this video and give her some encouragement, that would be awesome. And if you'd like more videos like this, interviewing people who have had experience with dyslexia, or if you have ideas for other videos, we'd love to hear them. And we just really appreciate you watching this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
So that's where my tutor in Nava Spot comes into the
into the picture.
Picture,
right? Into the
yeah.
picture. Do you need some water or anything?
Maybe. So.
Okay. Were you talking about the students?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so why don't you tell me about that one again?
About the students now?
No.
Oh.
Did you have any more accommodations?
Oh, no.
Any more? Wait, what question are we on? Did you say before? Hang on. Okay, now we're rolling again. Okay, we have to have something for bloopers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Fun.
I can't wait for that. Okay. So, all right. Okay. So if you could tell my word. I do it like nonstop. No joke, like I can have like 75 ums in a minute. It's really terrible.
For the students, correct.
This is for the students, yes.
Okay,
Okay, getting hot here.
Yes, it is.